Welcome to week 7 training video. I have 18 plays here. We're going to try to keep it 20 minutes or less here. Before we begin, I want to refresh and review targeting. And I do have a correction from last training video for week 6 training video. The foul at the very beginning of the video I do describe as a 9-1-3 for using the crown of the helmet. However, I accidentally, as describing it, say this is a foul for 9-1-4 using the crown of the helmet. That was incorrect. It is 9-1-3. Again, that pertains to last week or week 6 training video, the very first targeting example. Okay, again, for this one going forward, as always, this is not to demean, belittle, show up, or embarrass anyone. This is strictly for training purposes for the officials, coaches, players, and owners. All right, as we get into the first play, we've got a couple of examples of targeting and not targeting. Play 1 here is an example of 9-1-4, which is a hit in the head or neck area against a defenseless opponent. One of the elements, as I had indicated last week on the training video, is a launch, an upward thrust. Here you do see the defender not only targets and has a running start to build up that momentum, but he also hits in the head or right near the head area as the running back is trying to catch the pass. So this is a foul we would want for targeting. Also, you see how the coaches act here. This is something that we had discussed preseason. Point of emphasis from last year and his rule. These coaches are out on the field at all, contesting a call. We do want to hit them up with an unsportsmanlike conduct. The linesman does this correctly. Good job. But back to the targeting. This is a tough angle for the line of scrimmage official here. It's something that I would hope the deep guys might have an angle at. It's a tough get, but this is something that we definitely would support. Okay, this next example in play 2 is an example of what is not targeting. This is a blind side block. We've actually got a couple of them. Again, for 9-1-4, it has to be in the head or neck area of a defenseless opponent. And it has to be with intent to punish, forcible contact. We don't have any of those. We don't have the forcible contact of the head or neck area. We have a very hard, tough block in the chest, and as you note, the defender's head actually goes forward. If he were hit in the head, it would go backwards. The second one coming up here. That one has the upward thrust, but very tough to tell from that angle. Based on what we see here, these would not be fouls for 9-1-4 targeting. They would just be considered tough blocks, blindside blocks, but illegal. Okay, in play 3 here, we have an example of what is not striking or not fighting. At most, I would want us to warn this receiver here. As he's trying to run his route, he does make contact. One can argue whether it's intentional or not. I'm not at the game, would have to know how the whole game has gone, not from just one play. But something like this, I would definitely want us to get in and talk to him to prevent any further issues. Now, that would not be considered a head slap. That's not striking. That's not an ejectable offense. But definitely want to talk to. If you did flag it, it would just be an unnecessary roughness. But that would not be considered punching or fighting. Play 4. Here we have an example of an ineligible downfield. Actually, we have a few of them downfield. Obviously, it's a busted play, so they assume the quarterback's probably gotten rid of it at this time, but This is something that we got to nail, especially when they're this far down, and we do. The backside guy doesn't have a receiver there, so it's perfect. He's looking right where he's supposed to be. You see the line of scrimmage was the 22, and it's where the receivers are when the ball is thrown. Remember, it's not when you look, but it's where they are when the ball is thrown. So at this point, with the line of scrimmage being the 22, we can quickly see that there's one alignment around the 12-yard line and another one at about the 10-yard line. So it's definitely not that's not a warning. That's 10 yards downfield. We definitely need to get that. And again, the backside line of scrimmage guy does, looking right where he's supposed to, so very good job. Play 5 is a fumble that is ruled down. Anything this close, guys, remember, philosophy tells us that when in doubt, the ball is out. If we are not sure in any way, we rule fumble. At the speed of the game, statistics show that more often than not it is a fumble. And it's overwhelming statistics. Again, this is not high school philosophies, this is college philosophies, and when in doubt, it is a fumble. And here, as you can see, the ball is starting to come out. His knees are not on the ground. And there it is. Okay, we come in pointing to the ground. We know we're on our whistle, so that's good. If you're going to have him down, sell it and go with what you have. If you're going to be wrong strong. We don't have the benefit of replay, so it's very easy for me to sit here and watch on video. But just take your time, and when in doubt, the ball is out. Make sure that he is definitely down. Okay, play 6. This is an interception. Very good judgment by the deep official here. What I would do differently would just be your positioning. Remember, now if that's the goal line, you'd be in a perfect position off the pylon, 3-4 yards. But for passes down the sideline, we actually want you on the sideline, out ahead of the play, so you can straddle the sideline and determine whether he makes the catch inbounds or not. What I do like is we all get caught out of position sometimes, but you continue to officiate. Stay with the entire process of the catch. If the ball moves or comes out, it is incomplete. But there's the line where we would actually want you to be, would be on the sideline to watch that motion. But here, continue to officiate like you're doing. Comes up with the ball. Not a bad job at all. A little technicality. We definitely would want you out in front of the play so you can see down the sideline. But still got the call right, and very good judgment. So here is a punt down to inside the 1 yard line. Deep officials, anytime the ball is punted from the 50 and in, actually the other 45, we should be at the goal line. Back judge will not be at the goal line. He will float with the receiver. But field and side judge, we should be at the goal line. That is the biggest threat. We can always scoot up, but we need to cover that goal line. And here we have an example. We're not there, but we start to backpedal. We make up for it. We're still in position to see this. We see that he's at the 1 where it's possessed. Right there is where we'd like you to be, the goal line. Still got the call right. Just try to be at the goal line, guys. Again, deep officials, ball snapped from the opposite 45. Go ahead and get to the goal line. Or start at the goal line on the snap. Yeah, we hear some question whether this is an actual touchback or not. If he just touches that and doesn't possess it, then it would be a touchback. But here, he clearly possesses it, and he's at the 1 yard line. Very good call here. Good judgment. Play 8 is an example of what would not be considered ineligible downfield. You see the ball is snapped from the 44 yard line, and just as the pass is about to be let go, we have alignment at the 47, so he is exactly 3 yards downfield. Definitely not enough for us to flag. He's right where he's legal, and we actually expand that a little bit. There's no deception here. The run pass option is where we have the hard and fast 3 yards. So this is excellent judgment by the backside official to not call this, as well as the umpire. The umpire looks right at it, knows the ball is just being released, and passes on the call. So very good judgment by the backside wing official and the umpire. Play 9. This is an example of what should be shut down for a false start. At very worst, we've got an illegal formation. You can tell that the team is not sure what's going on here. Nothing good could come of this. Again, Rule 712A states that all teammate players must come to an absolute stop and remain stationary in their positions for at least 1 full second before the ball is snapped, without movement of feet, body, head, or arms. So in a situation like this, yeah, we could let it go live for illegal formation, but 65 is actually moving forward at the snap. So line of scrimmage guys, we could shut that down for a false start, but also referee and line of scrimmage guys, at least the 3 of you know that not everybody came set. So we should be shutting this down for a false start. Nothing good can become of letting this play happen. Okay, so we've got 2 guys off plus 4 in the backfield, another guy moving. So we should just shut this play down, guys. Again, nothing good's going to happen. Play 10 here is an example of just a good overall whistle patience. Guy continues to drive forward. This is not helping the runner. Remember, the rule changed years back where you can help as long as you're pushing. You're not allowed to pull the runner in, but they are allowed to push. He continues to go forward, and deep officials in position. As soon as he crosses, he's there. Good job, good patience on the whistle. Okay, this is an example of a spot. It's a crucial spot late in the game, 3rd and 3. Remember, guys, if he is on a player, he is not down unless his momentum or progress is stopped. So this is one that looks like we missed. Don't have all the angles to confirm 100%, but from what I see, it does appear that he's on a player. We don't want to get in an argument out here, but if you're on the backside and you are certain that's what it was, you guys may want to even come in and talk. But this is one that we got to get, and we miss. We spot him short, and you see right here he's on a player, and he rolls over. By the time he touches, he is actually over the line. Right? Now he's down. We end up spotting him short. Either way, whether we're going to spot him short or we're going to give him the first down, that is so close we need to come crashing in from the line of scrimmage. Part of our routine, a pre-snap routine, is no down and distance every play. So we know it's that close. We know based on down and distance, we know if he's short or not. We should be coming in hard selling that. Okay, this is, we've covered this the last 3 training videos, and just another example of reminder to deep guys that we need you deep. The line of scrimmage guys have all spots except anything from the 2 and in, unless we are in goal line mechanics. So the tendency may be to come back, but just stay back and observe players, dead ball officiate, clean up, help get a ball. But we don't want to take this spot unless the players have passed us and we are officiating from behind, like a line of scrimmage official. In that case, we would come up and take the spot. As long as we are out ahead of the play, we want to continue to backpedal or stay out in front of the play, even if we have to turn and move. Line of scrimmage guy is going to come in and take that spot. Okay, quick review on defensive pass interference. Face guarding is not a foul. There must be contact in order to have defensive pass interference. There are 6 categories to defensive pass interference listed below: early contact, playing through the back, grabbing and restricting, extending an arm across the body or the arm bar, cutting off or riding the receiver, hooking and restricting. Again, there must be contact and there must be a restriction. This is an example of just good defense. No turn, he has an arm resting on him, but there is no twist, there's no turn, he doesn't restrict his arms. Great defense. Excellent, correct no call by the officials. Play 14, this is just a very good job by the official here on the goal line. Very tight play. Catches the ball just over the goal line, and we've got the official in perfect position. There's the goal line. He catches it. He gets driven back out. Touchdown. He didn't come back on his own. He got pushed out. When he possesses it, it sure appears that he's in the end zone at that point. But either way, he would get progress. Waits, completes the catch. Touchdown. Excellent job by this official. It's another long run. Very good mechanics here for the deep official in the line of scrimmage. One minor thing, if you may have to turn and run at the end, deep official, and that's okay. We just want you to be at the goal line when he crosses, if at all possible. If you're running full speed ahead and you can't get there, that's fine. But in this case, you're still on the back pedal, so it would be okay to turn and get there. But it's just a minor technicality. Other than that, this is very good mechanics, very good patience, and great communication between the deep official and the line of scrimmage official. Both make eye contact. Excellent job. Another example of mechanics here. This is an interception, and this is a great example of reverse mechanics. Remember, now we have switched, so the line of scrimmage officials now would have the goal line, anything from the 2 and in, and the deep officials would switch, and they now would have all spots all the way up to the 2-yard line, as if they are a line of scrimmage official. So you can see up top, the deep official is now heading for the goal line. And down below, the deep official here is also backpedaling to the goal line. He's out ahead of the play, great position on the sideline so he can see everything. Referee is also back. Remember, the referee is not responsible for the goal line. He is watching the quarterback at this point, but he certainly can help if the quarterback's not threatened. And here comes the deep official, who is now replaced or switched and has now become like the line of scrimmage and is taking the spot. Very good job on reverse mechanics for these guys. Exactly how we want it done. And this is going to take us to the last couple plays of this week, official calls of the week. These are both two very good jobs officiating. This is a great pickup on what was really an unnecessary play. It's kind of a fake punt. When they throw it high in the air, not everybody may understand that it's a punt or a pass. They may think it is a punt, but regardless, this guy here knows it's a pass. He tries to intercept it. He drops it, hits the ground. He knows the play is over at this point. He takes an unnecessary shot there. May not have been the hardest hit. It may look worse than it was. He may have just knocked him off balance, but not necessary. You see the bench gets upset. Back judge processes it. In comes the late flag. Very good job. The only thing I would add is don't throw your flags at the players. There's really not a need to. It's not a spot foul. Even if it was a spot foul, get it on the yard line, but away from the players. Just don't want to hit a player with their flag and open up that can of worms. The last and final play, touchdown mechanics. Check out the field judge, the deep official at the top of the screen. I'm sorry, I believe it's the side judge. Excellent mechanics, excellent position, and perfect tempo. You see when he gets to position, he's at the goal line, never really moves. Very good patience. And because the sideline is not threatened and the run comes from the middle of the field, he goes ahead and takes the call all the way. Very good mechanics here. Settles, holds his spot, processes, up. Very nice job. That, gentleman, is textbook, and that is how we want it. Great job. That concludes this week's training video. Thank you, everybody, for all the work you put in. We're down to the last couple weeks of the season, and playoffs will be coming up soon. To everyone working this weekend, have a great game. Coaches and players as well, have a great game.